So, yeah. We're going to play some more 3-minute chess. And here we go, SmarterChess. And I can't think of a more apt name for this first game after the break than that. From America, Candidate Master SmarterChess, facing off against my 1e4. There we go. Best of 3, loser tweets the other, owns them. Deal? I think I'm being called out by this guy, so I guess there's nothing to do but deal. I guess I'd better not lose this best of 3. This is 3-minute chess, right? Yeah. Okay, so I don't need to panic and move ultra quickly. Although apparently moving quickly is a thing. It's a thing.
It is, Tom.
Okay, this is my part of the show, John. You're not allowed to talk.
I'll save it for when you lose on time.
Like I said, John, you're not allowed to talk. Sorry, we're having some in-house issues here, but the important thing is this was an early b3 Sicilian, and I have bishops pointing at his king. And for example here, I know that I can at least pick up a pawn, but can I pick up a piece? I can take on h7 or I can take on e5. If I take on e5, though, ooh, none of these things actually work. Or do they? Takes. Okay, I'm going to win a pawn. If I play queen h5 first, then he's got f5 to blockade. So we're going to do it this way. And takes, and king takes, and bishop takes, and bishop takes, queen h5, king g8, queen takes e5, and I've picked up a pawn. All very sensible. Of course, my opponent doesn't have to take back on e5, but then I've just picked up a pawn for free anyway. So we are getting the variation that I predicted. And we have snaffled an early pawn. I'll see if I can keep this in the vaguely sort of hack attack way by castling queenside. It depends. If he goes queen a5, I'm going to castle kingside. If he goes queen e7, can I go knight f5, queen g5, and then I'm losing? Okay, I shouldn't do that. Let's castle queenside. That was the original plan. He's going to play f6 because I'm going to make a prediction. So I think I'm 2-1, and I'm now 3-1 in predictions. I am officially better at predictions than I am at chess. Although the predictions are at chess, so you know. Okay, one of the big problems for my opponent is that he needs to develop this bishop and rook. It's not just that he's a pawn down, but he's got other problems as well. He's going a5 and going for a counterattack. Counterattacks are scary. In fact, they might just be good. Gonna go a4, and I'm gonna also predict he goes b5, because that's just the kind of attacking player he is. He's gonna go b5, a takes b5, a4. Oh, and this time I'm wrong. So prediction stakes go down. But okay, I'm happy because I don't think my opponent's move was as good as the one that I was thinking about. Okay, I seem to be behind on the clock. Shh. Preemptively, before John even starts thinking anything. Let's bring the knight over to help defend. What is going on here? I am 2 pawns up, but my king is somehow more weak than my opponent's. Okay. Queen c5, is that a move? It's sort of a move. Let's go queen c5. Nah, let's go f3 and protect the knight. I'm actually quite worried, especially after the confidence that my opponent showed at the start of this game. Suddenly occurred to me that my opponent's gamble could be a very, very clever one, because of course, if I tweet out that he beats me, then that's going to be a lot of people reading that, and this could be bad. Anyway, so I should concentrate on playing good moves. Okay, defend c4. My opponent's trying to double rooks. I really need my own attack. Okay, let's bring my knight around to help out. Okay, things are under control. It may not look like it, but things are under control. Okay, g4 is a bad move. He's going to go queen e3 check and take on f3. I really need to think a little bit harder about these moves. rook into the centre. I have extra material, but it's not so clear here, guys. Like, what am I supposed to do with this extra material? I am much more comfortable being a little bit of material down with an attack than a bit of material up without one. Okay, my opponent is doing something. He can't go rook a6 because I take the rook. Bishop takes b5, I just play pawn takes. Oh, he's done that! Whoops, he missed that rook on d8. Rook a6 looked really tempting getting a bit of time, but I think it is resign time now. My opponent slightly disagrees, so I'm going to swap the queens off and go, nah, there goes your attack. Look, all rook and pawn endings are drawn, but I have 2 rooks and you have 1, so GG. And GG. Now I have 1 rook and you have 0. That is the least drawn of all rook and pawn endings. And we go up 1-0 in this best of 3 against SmarterChess. Right, I have to play my absolute best, which means playing the Leningrad Dutch in this game. Will my opponent go for e4 here? No, he plays 2 knights c3. He's gone for a very, very solid system. Normally you follow up with bishop g5 here and bishop takes f6. But I'm not certain about h4. I mean, it looks really, really aggressive. But one of the problems is here that he just doesn't have any control of the centre. So my plan here, guys, is going to be to attack him in the centre, because he's ignoring it. And I'm all for ignoring the centre. I mean, it's overrated, but it's not that overrated. I mean, there's a reason why people try and control it. Okay, so he's desperate to keep this pin going. I'm not going to take on d4 and increase his pressure on f6. Let's develop a knight. Okay. And then just bishop e7, and there's no pin. Okay, he's probably going to take on c5 here. I literally don't know what he's going to play. I don't know what he's going to play. e3. Okay, that's quite sensible. And let's just go knight g4. Because one of the surprising elements of the fact that he's given up his h-pawn is that he obviously doesn't have a pawn on h2 anymore to go h3 and shift my knight away from g4. So it could be potentially much more annoying than you would normally expect in this kind of position. And in this kind of position it could already be annoying enough. So I'm going to carry on attacking his centre, attacking this here. Now knight b5 is the only move that I'm worried about here. Defends d4, defends b2, and threatens this. So of course my opponent plays the only move I'm worried about. These kind of things we've come to expect. Now let me see. I have this lovely solid king side, so I'm going to castle. Yeah, I mean he has an open h file, but whoever got mated on an open h file after castling king side? Apparently 1 or 2 people got mated. Okay, right. Fortunately, my opponent isn't able to castle at all, so that might not turn out to be a problem. I can always go a6 to try and force this knight away. Although if I go a6, he goes bishop c7 and traps my queen. I think that's his idea anyway. I can go to a6 now, but where's he going with the knight? If he goes back to c3, I can go c4 and blockade this. I think I'm okay. If he goes back with the bishop, he's threatening knight c7. But I don't have to take a draw because I can go queen a5 check instead of queen b6. So there will be no repetition of moves. No repetition of moves because we are not after draws here on Hack Attack. He does play the knight back there, but c4 keeps my queen alive. And my hopes of a 2-0 as well. Okay, so we take that knight off on e5. He captures with the pawn. And now that bishop is not a good piece. We'll go queen c6. He'll go bishop d6. And then I'll take, queen takes. And then he wants to go f3 and get rid of my knight. But the problem with f3 is it gives this away. He's gone f3 straight away. I mean, I really literally don't understand what my opponent's doing right now. Although it could easily just translate into losing. f4 or c4 or knight takes f1. Probably the hardest thing here is I have a lot of moves which win. But I think bishop g5 is the winningest. No, maybe it's not. Honestly, I don't know. What about d4? Okay, we'll go d4. Maybe it's not completely over yet. He can go bishop d6, takes on d6, takes, and then queen takes. And I don't know. Then there's a really big threat of queen g3 if the queen goes across to f2 to blockade. There's a nasty pin on that queen to the king on e1, and then knight takes c2, forks the king on e1 and the rook on e1. But, okay, so queen over to f2 straight away. He is going all in with this now. But he is going all in with nothing. I mean, there is no counterattack. There is only a check. And then my king goes in the corner. And there's nothing here. I mean, even after rook takes there, I mean, I don't even think there's a threat. I mean, I've got 55 seconds. Let's look around. Is there a threat here? I mean, I don't think there is. We can just... Is queen g6 a threat? I mean, not really is the answer. Ah, whoops. Queen g6, I'll go bishop b4. With threats of my own, and the queen comes across and defends. Rook takes h7. I'm like a pretty high percentage that that's not perpetual check. Yeah, I'm actually 100% it's not perpetual check. Bishop f1 is confusing. His idea is to bring the rook across. That's really cool, but probably it's not going to work. Let's take that off. No, surely this isn't perpetual check. No, it isn't. That is a check. Take that off.
That's like one of my games.
How did that happen? How did that happen? I was quite a lot of pieces up. I think the mistake, guys, was to go bishop b4 check. I think that was the mistake. If I take this off first, then rook h1 doesn't exist. It's a good thing that we have a best of 3. Okay, well, I'm going to say good luck to my opponent. And e4 we go. e4. Okay, so we've got a Caro-Kann. I am mentally and physically broken after that game, but I will try and pull myself together for the greater good, for the hacking community to see the true hacker come up and hopefully seal this series. And I've already messed up by not playing theory in this game. I know the theory off by heart, and I haven't played it. I am not in a good place. But I'm hoping that normal service will resume some point during this game. I was supposed to play knight e5 instead of whatever it was that I played. But this isn't. I mean, what? I don't know. King b1. I think this is almost theory. We might have transposed back into something, but I've clearly been derailed, and we're going to try and push the g-pawn down the board and mate the guy on the king side. Because I am not going to call this game in my favour until I have delivered checkmate. Because that game was won, guys. It was... You know, I was just trying to tie a nice pretty ribbon over it, and then someone came and like stomped on my thing. I don't know. This analogy is not brought to you by words. I don't know. Okay, I need to think. Is g4 the right move here? Is knight e5 the right move? I know there are moves in this position. I just don't know what any of them do. Okay, let us go g4 and give up a pawn. Okay, I have to move faster. Okay, the point of this is, give up the pawn, take the g-file, get a counter-attack, and mate the guy on the king side. I'm not certain that it works, but we're going to do it anyway. If he doesn't take the pawn, then we're going to go g5 and smash the position up anyway. So it's one of those kind of positions where they should probably take it. Although queen e4 is a really good move. Oh no. Bishop e3, knight takes g4, and then do I have a move? I don't know. I think, guys, this is going to go positional. The queens have been swapped off. In the interest of I have to win this series, the queens are going to be swapped off, and I am going to play positionally in this ending. Words that we try never to say on Hack Attack are being said. Okay, we can shift this knight from e4 by going f3. Yeah, we can do that. And then we can make this bishop into a good piece. We have to carry on moving quickly, because this game, there will be a point. Oh, he's going to play that. Okay, keep calm and play rook d3. c5. My opponent is playing quickly and confidently. Let's take that off. I think he's playing quickly and confidently and inaccurately. So if rook takes d3, I'll go knight takes d3 and my knight comes back and covers there. Bishop takes c5 would be a blunder, because a bishop takes c5, rook takes c5, rook takes d8. Knight a3 check, king b2. What am I missing here? What am I missing? I am down on the clock. I'm missing that move, apparently. No, I mean, I'm not really missing that move. And we played here. And we're going to go... And I'm a pawn up. Okay, fine. 4v2 on this side. I need to make it work on the queen side. Okay. It's a winning ending even with everything swapped off. Okay, and then c6. Because outside pass pawns are the best kind of pass pawns to have here. And can I not go bishop f4 and then c7? Surely I'm winning a piece. Okay, am I getting mated? Well, my opponent has bishops and pawns. Not really the pieces that I'd expect a surprise mate from. But about now, I would kind of not be surprised by anything. Okay, I would be surprised by mate here. But no, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a 2-1 victory to me. It's happened here. Oh, and he's resigned! Oh, and that is an exclamation of relief rather than pride or anything else. My opponent says good games. Unhappy face. I'm gonna draw some very happy faces. And yeah, thank you very much to my opponent, SmarterChess. It was that was an entertaining best of 3. I really enjoyed it, and